Oh, I'm gonna enjoy making this video. So JJK 268 has just dropped, and if you read that chapter, which I'm assuming everybody here has, you already know what we have just witnessed. And oh my god, I've been waiting to do a Hakari agenda video for time. So the fact that it ended like this, oh my god, this is the golden opportunity. No lie, I think I've seen shoujos that have done better than this fight. This fight was street trash. Alright, let me chill. Let me like get into this later. But for now, let's get into the Hakari agenda and then we'll go over this chapter later. But before I get into it, if you like the video, like and subscribe, since like I'll push out more JJK content for you guys if you like it. So yeah, I've got a few ideas cooking in the back. So yeah, anyway, less about that. Let's just get into the agenda. This is what you're here for. So it was around August 23rd, 2021 where we first got to see Hakari in the flesh. Now little did Adolf Akatami know, Hakari would gain a lot of fans. And don't get it twisted, there was probably fans before this as well. Obviously, I wasn't in the community back then, but I'm going to assume from that one little panel that we got ages ago, they had to be fans. Now, obviously, as we know, Hakari meets Yuji first, and they have a conversation. Now, I'm not going to lie, this conversation was weird in my eyes. You are a grown man talking to a 15-year-old about gambling and talking about the fever, and you like basically nothing in your pants while talking. Like, can you relax here? Even offers the guy alcohol, like, relax. Like, okay, I don't think he knew Yuji's age, but like, still. Anyway, I can slander this guy, I'm still gonna slander him, like, come on. One of the first things this guy asks Yuji is, yo, you wanna make $1 million a month? Like, bro, you sound like a sketchy, one of them sketchy guys that do them pyramid schemes and them trading courses, like, shut up. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had high expectations because every single time he was mentioned before, he was mentioned with Todo and Yuta, and Todo and Yuta, along with Yuji, are basically my favorite characters in JJK. So I hold him up to that regard, and then when I saw him in his first appearance, I was like, this guy's talking about gambling and stuff, like, can he move out of my face? I'm not trying to hear this right now. But nevertheless, he thinks that Yuji is a spy, so they start fighting. Now, it's the fact that this guy whips out train doors on Yuji. I'm like, train doors, really? Really? I've seen humans rip apart train doors. Why am I meant to be afraid? Yo, you have Todo being able to teleport around, you have Yuta being able to copy your curse technique, and you're whipping out train doors. Obviously, we know later that it's not his full technique, but out of all the things you decide to whip out, train doors, am I meant to be moved? And obviously, him and Yuji get to scrapping. I say him and Yuji get to scrapping, but it's kind of like Sanji versus Luffy. Yuji wasn't fighting back, it was just Hakari waiting on him, and Yuji kept on getting up. Mind you, this is all in a wife beater, so Kiara, please tell us if he's beating you out. Let me chill. Now, obviously, at the end of the fight, this is what moved me when Kiara said, okay, he's like, he feels the fever the most when he's protecting or like helping his friends out from Jujustu Kaisen. So I was like, alright, cool. Maybe he's got a little bit of good in him. And no lie, after his like proper next appearance, I'm not carrying that fight against the manga guy, Charles. Like, we don't care about Charles. I'm not gonna lie to you. Who gives a damn about Charles? Let's be real. But him jumping down and landing on that crate, woo! I'm not gonna lie. Hey, listen. You can't deny greatness. You have to just accept greatness. But no lie, this is his only real fight. Now, although it's his only like real major fight that is actually shown and it's actually competitive, it is one of the best fights in the series, and you can't deny that. It is literally one of the best fights in the series. Every single time I read the fight, I'm not a Hakari fan. I'm more leaning to actually disliking him, but every single time I read this fight, it's a 10 out of 10 from start to finish. Like, there isn't anything bad about the fight. But addressing the fight, now obviously he decides to scrap the farmer Kashimo or the femboy Kashimo, whichever one you want to use, since we can be a farmer femboy, like a femboy farmer. I don't know how you place those words. I'll let the gooners do that for me. And they get to scrapping. And obviously Hakari's, I think he's already in this jackpot mode where he like arrives and he pops his domain again when it runs out. Now, I'm gonna sit here and try to explain it. I'm not a restless gambler, but hey, look, listen, I'll try to explain it for you. Let me put my suit and tie on for this one, alright? So, essentially, Hakari activates his domain, right? So say for instance he has no domain active or no jackpot active, he activates his domain, right? And from there until he then hits his jackpot, he is killable. But for the rest of like the 4 minutes or however long he's got, he's basically invincible until he pops his domain again, and then obviously, you know, gets his jackpot. I'm gonna tell you this now, I'm not a massive Hakari fan, so I actually haven't read his domain properly, but from what I can understand, from time his timer runs out and then when he gets the jackpot again, that is when he's killable. But until then, or I should say after that, he's then just unkillable. If I had understood that perfectly, I don't understand why a lot of people just didn't understand his domain. His domain is probably one of the easiest things to understand, but how do you get that wrong? But I don't know, I could be wrong, and I just cussed out a bunch of people that were struggling to understand his domain. But we're getting off track here. It is a Hakari video, so you know, maybe the rambling is good, but that's how I interpret his domain. I assume that like there's probably like a small window where he's killable, and obviously Kashimo does capitalize off of this, but you know, Hakari, like, while he's still down, he even still hits jackpot, started to revive himself. So I feel like through this fight, it's like you can see Hakari's fighting style. He lets loose because he's invincible and he knows that. Kashimo, obviously, he's doing his thing and he basically fries his brain and nearly kills him, but Hakari's like, nope, infinite CT. I just say CT, I mean cursed energy, man. Hey, relax on me. So obviously they continue fighting and whatnot, and then obviously Kashimo was saving up for his massive attack, and he wants to take out one of Hakari's arms, and Hakari's like, no, let me outsmart you real quick, and then yeah, he just does his thing and he wins the fight. So I know you're thinking, oh, so Kosu, what's next? Yeah, the Urame fight, and I'm sorry to tell you that, but that has like, I don't know, 20 pages altogether. Like, what do you want me to do with that? He literally sidelines Hakari and holds Kashimo. Like, what am I meant to do with this? Like, there's no substance here. But since I'm so nice, I'm gonna obviously cover it, and then I'm gonna get into the real agenda later. So Sukuna and Gojo happens, and we know how that turns out. So Kashimo enters the battlefield along with Hakari, and this is where the sideline begins, because obviously Hakari activates his domain to keep Urame away from Sukuna, and you know. And I feel like I should cover the Kashimo stuff, but I have like a whole Kashimo agenda video that I could make, and I hate it, bro. You think okay, I hate Gojo a little bit, but like, you think I hate Gojo? Yo, I despise Kashimo. Obviously, Hakari and Urame don't show up again until 245, and that is completely reasonable since Takuba versus Kenjaku happens, and that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you should have chapters. No, they was having their own fight, and so they get to scrapping, and it's like real scrapping, and obviously it's good. Like this was good, but the thing that's hilarious about this is that yes, it's so good, but this is like, okay, so Hakari shows up 2 more times after this, but there is like no fighting going on. They're just standing there and talking to each other, or just like reacting or whatever. But this right here is like the only bit of scrapping they get, and you get a really good Hakari feat or like statement here just for nothing else to happen. Like, this is like somebody getting confirmed to do something or like be good at something, and you just never see it again. Like, what was the point of you telling me that? Like, you just gave me a whole lot of nothing because you never show me what he does. Like, why would you give me something if you know I couldn't have it? But as I just said, they show up 2 times later, and like they're just standing around talking to each other, but that's like it. What am I meant to do? And I mean, that's aside from this chapter, but you know, I'll get into this chapter like a little bit later. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where the questionnaire starts. I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to comment what you think the answer is. Remember, do not cheat. Now, out of the 4 characters I'm going to list, please tell me the 4 characters that Hakari has beef with the most, or I should say Hakari fans have beef with the most. Is it A, Yuji Itadori, B, Maki Zenin, C, Yuta Okosu, or lastly, D, Todo Aoi? So obviously I'm gonna give you around about now. Okay, cool. So you better tap Yuta Okosu. If you tap Maki Zenin, I'll give you that a little bit, but like, yeah, it's mainly Yuta Okosu. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, Hakari fans lost the war. I'm here to tell you, if you also voted Maki Zenin, yeah, you won the competition too, because Hakari got 0 feats. The funny thing is that Yuta fights Sukuna not once, but twice. And he kills Kenjaku on top of that. Bro, the war, you man lost the war. It's not even close. You man was fighting a losing battle. I remember there was a time where Yuta versus Hakari was actually competitive. There is no competition here. What is the competition? Now, back in my YouTube video, where I'm assuming most of you didn't watch it, I said this. Now, as an onlooker from the JJK community, since I'm in it but I'm not really in it, I can be honest and say that the YouTube community does lack what other communities have, and that is being outlandish. So the Hakari fans will make up memes and stuff on the fly. Like, as I said before, Hakari fans started saying that Yuta didn't even have a domain. Like, come on. Like, bro, they can say that because they're funny and they'll get away with it. But I'm here to tell you that Yuta fans, you have won, and I'm here to give you a compilation. Come watch them see you.
Nigga, fuck JJK. I don't give a fuck no JJK, man. Fuck gay and his bitch ass family.
The thing about JJK is it's like a medium erection.
I done pissed too many people off. I've done called niggas too many names. I've done slandered too many series for getting to do me like this and to just throw me into the lion's den.
Yo, all I'm saying is that Gege did his fans dirty, and making Urame commit on the spot is insane. But yeah, I think this is the Hakari agenda video done. I mean, look, listen, they're in shambles right now. I don't really want to press too hard on the wound. I may throw a little bit more salt on the wound, and you know, but I'm not gonna lie, what Gege did to his fans, hey, is sickening. But hey, look, listen, next time you gotta choose the right series and the right characters to stand. I stood Yuta, Yuji, and Todo. Hey, listen, I came out with my stocks, okay? Yuta, listen. Yuta, you can get back up, don't worry. Yuji and Todo, Yuji, you didn't live up to what you could be, but your stocks are still safe. And Todo, you know, you're a G. Todo literally has good feats now. You can put him in versus battles, and yeah. Anyway, I have like one more statement for you guys, and that is, Oda could never